Greetings. This is Justin Allen, the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, a podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system. And frankly, screw that. Sick of it. And it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked with the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hey everyone, today we'll be talking to Allison, who is a family nurse practitioner. Currently, she is working PRN at an urgent care, but she's predominantly focused on her own practice. She provides hormone replacement therapy, weight loss services, peptides, sexual health, and other wellness services. She's needing help with lead acquisition, marketing, and scaling her practice to the next level. Hey Allison, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for hopping on here. So I know we are recording this the week before Christmas, so I appreciate you getting on here. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been a nurse practitioner for and what sorts of things you've been up to?
Cool. So I've been a nurse practitioner since 2015, so going on 10 years, 11 years now. Primarily, I was focused initially in family practice, much like everyone else, got super burnt out, thought urgent care would be better. Went there, started seeing 80 patients a day, got super burnt out, started looking in your groups, seeing what other people were doing, figured why the hell not? If they're doing it, I could maybe do it. So I actually went back, got certified in functional medicine, and that's kind of where I got started about 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
Oh, then I got burnt out in functional medicine, and I took your weight loss course, started weight loss, and here we are.
Gotcha. Yeah, the switching to urgent care to get relief was not the wisest idea, was it?
No, not at all. I mean, I figured, 312s, it's going to be great.
Yeah, the schedule's okay, but the work is absolutely exhausting. Like those 3 12-hour shifts, you work your ass off, you earn your money. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I have 2 kids at home, just probably like a lot of other NPs, and there just was no time. I was exhausted. So then I was like, just it's a shit parent too. So it was not a good combination.
No, urgent care makes you a miserable, angry person. Yeah. I remember when I was working urgent care, I was like, who am I? Like, if this isn't me, like, I become an asshole.
Yeah, good. My parents were like, when they would come over, what's wrong with you? I'm like, you don't get it.
Right. It sucks. Yeah. See how you feel after seeing 150 sore throats. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So you started your practice when?
So this coming February will basically be 2 years. But I really, for the first year, did not do much in terms of like working it at all. I think I maybe made like 30K the whole year. So I would consider January of this year our actual 1 year mark, because October of last year is when I finished the weight loss course, and then January is when I opened the brick and mortar. So I would say a year.
So what have you done this year in terms of revenue goes, if you don't mind sharing about?
Yeah, so we have like a CPA, and I figured that you were probably going to ask this. So I had them pull the numbers for 2025. So the gross profit through October of 2025 is 151,000.
Okay.
And then the gross profit overall since we started is 183.
Okay, so your practice has generated $183,000 total. You generate $150,000 in just revenue. Do you have any idea what your actual profit is? Are they saying gross profit is just your revenue? What's your net? Like how much have you actually profited?
So the net profit through October is 40.
40. Okay, gotcha. So it's a little, I mean, you're seeing patients, but it's not crazy busy. Yeah.
No, so since January of last year, I have 140 patients on a monthly HRT subscription.
So 140 patients. Yeah, I mean the revenue that you're hitting seems about accurate, right? So, for every 100 patients you see, you should be generating something like, $100 to $150,000, right? So, so you do seem to be, kind of right there where you're supposed to be. So yeah, now it makes sense why you need to focus on lead acquisition, right? You need to get these numbers up.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of all these services that you are offering, break down, I don't need exact percentages here. I'm just curious, just a general estimation here, but like what percentage is HRT? What percentage is weight loss? Just very rough.
So it's probably about 90% HRT.
Okay, good.
And then 10% weight loss.
Okay. And then just, random stuff here or there, peptides or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's predominantly men's health?
I wish, man. It's predominantly women's health. I am lucky because my husband is a physician. So he works in the clinic with me. So he kind of does most of the men's health, and then I kind of do the women's health.
Okay, gotcha. Are you don't have to tell us where where you live, but like, is this rural? Is this in a city? Give me a little bit of background on kind of where you're doing this.
It's probably the most saturated state of Florida.
Yeah. Okay. And are you in a big area in Florida?
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a tough market. There's a lot of people doing this kind of stuff around Tampa. The NPs that I know that are in that area, the ones that are doing well tend to be kind of outside of Tampa, in suburbs and maybe, within an hour drive of Tampa. Those places, those people tend to be doing, fairly well. But yeah, the ones in the big city, it's saturated, right? I mean, there's only so many patients to go around. This is a brick and mortar practice.
Yeah, so brick and mortar, and then obviously virtual for the state of Florida.
Right. I'm assuming most of the follow-ups and stuff are probably telemed, things like that. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the location. So are you on a main street? Are you kind of tucked away somewhere? What's your location like?
So, we are kind of about an hour or like 40 minutes from Tampa Bay. So we're actually located in Clearwater.
Okay.
It's on a main street, but it's like a busy drive street. There's no through walking traffic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Clearwater, Tampa. It's all the same. Yeah. Okay. So you made about $150,000. And you've generated about 40. So your margin here is $30,000. I mean, 30%, give or take, which is a little low compared to what you should be doing in one of these practices. So in general, your profit should be closer to 40 or 45% margin. Okay. So your margin right now is 30. So that tells me that there's some kind of, there's something wrong there. There's a disconnect and you're losing 10 or 15%. And that's either going to be based off of really two things. Number one, it's going to be your expenses are way too high, or number two, you're not charging enough. Okay. So
I think it's the expenses. So we did like a full, P&L statement to figure out like exactly how much we're making per patient, where's the money going. Right now, I'm working with a marketing company who is not great, but I spend $3,500 a month right there, and then I also spend 5,000 a month on social media.
Oh,
So that's
Jesus.
8,500 right there.
Okay, you stop that immediately.
Okay.
Okay, like you're talking about if you cut that. When did you start that?
So this marketing company, I've been with them for 8 months. And then the social media, I only have a 3-month contract with them, but they come, they film everything, they put it out. We don't do anything. 3 months. So I have 2 months left of that. Because
So,
I try to keep it very lean, like just the rent. I have 2 staff. So I think those are the biggest expense.
you know, your marketing is your biggest expense for sure. I mean, you've spent
And it's
approximately
not working.
no, you've spent approximately $50,000, almost on marketing, and you're not really seeing any kind of results from this. And so that is money flushed down the toilet. I mean, think about this. If you were spending that, your margin now would be closer to like 60%, right? So, out of all the marketing that you've done, how many patients have you got from that, you think?
I mean, I don't know. It's very hard to tell because just now in month 8, they set up the CRM. So it took them 8 months to they flew here, they filmed the videos, get the website going. Now we have the CRM, but it's this fucking long, drawn out process. And I'm pretty sure all the placements that we're getting is from our own social media efforts, posting in local Facebook groups, networking, boots on the ground.
Right.
But I've seen nothing from them.
Right. Just word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd cut these clowns out immediately.
Okay.
Cut them out immediately. I wouldn't. You are like, I mean, you're totally wasting your money here. I mean, you'd have been better off putting that money on, going to play some blackjack or something. You'd have higher odds of making money. Yeah. Okay. So, but this is a lesson that many business owners have to learn the hard way. Okay. I'm guilty of it. And many people that are listening to this are guilty of it. You waste some money on some ads and some marketing stuff, and it just does not turn into anything. And then you just look back and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? What am I doing here? This is, I've probably wasted $100,000 on just stupid marketing stuff, right? And literally got nothing in return. I mean, that is just part of the learning process. So it is an expensive lesson, but it is a lesson nonetheless. And so you can either be an idiot business owner and keep making that mistake, or you can learn from it and move on, right? So sounds like you're going to learn from it, move on. So cut it out. Just be done with it. If you sign a contract with them, tell them to pound sand, whatever, sue me. They're, I mean, going through the efforts of suing you over all that kind of stuff, it's usually not worth their time. Okay. If this other marketing agency that you're spending $3,500 a month with, they're from out of state and they flew in, they'd have to fly in, file the lawsuit or call a lawyer here. Like, it would be so much of a hassle for them. Okay. The ones that are, you're doing $5,000 a month with that you signed a 3-month contract with, is it 3 months up?
Next month.
Okay. Well, I would just be like, hey, listen, I have literally gotten no patience from this. This is a complete waste of my money. I will pay you at the end of the month after you can show me some results. And if you don't, you can pound sand too. Yeah, marketers anyone can do marketing. It doesn't require a degree. It doesn't require a certification. Some stupid kid can just say he's a marketer and right. Yeah. So, be very leery of marketers. Yeah. I've worked with one good solid marketing firm before, and it took me a long time to find them. Yeah, I would cut it out. So that right there, boom, you instantly increase your margin. Boom. Okay. You can literally keep doing the exact same thing that you're doing right now, and you just increased your profit margin, and you would just continue to slowly grow off word of mouth and people finding you and that sort of a thing. And, by next year, the
Mhm.
$50,000 you've done. I mean, next year you should be looking at 200, 250, or 300 if you continue to grow on the same trajectory you're at,
Okay.
with a 60% margin. Okay. Now you're making some good, now you're making money, right?
Okay.
Um, so anyways, I guess, um, lead acquisition here. So you said you've been doing some of your own social media stuff and you got word of mouth going on. So, I mean, obviously continue to do that, but, do that. The word of mouth, try to incentivize that, have a referral program
We
or
do.
something.
We have, yeah, referral program. So if they refer someone, they both get $50 credit.
Okay.
So that's worked pretty well for
Okay.
people to, refer people.
Keep doing that and remind them every single time you having a visit with them. Every time. Okay.
Okay.
People
Can
forget.
be better about
Okay. They have an entire life. They don't remember that, right? So remind them, like, hey, at the end of the visit, just tell them, hey, just want to remind you, you can get $50 credit for you and
that.
whoever person you refer to. Just remind them every single time. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and your Google review process here. How many reviews do you have?
So currently right now we're up to 38. I feel like I'm like begging people like please, 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 because I know the importance of it, but it's definitely been a slower process getting those up there.
Have you incentivized them?
No.
You need to be giving them something. Okay.
What do you suggest?
Anything that's low cost to you, but seen as valuable to them.
Okay.
So at my men's health clinic, a game day just opened up in town,
Yeah.
and it's competition, right? I mean, game
Mhm.
day is a large corporate kind of men's health franchise kind of thing. The guy who owns it is like a veteran, or he's not even in medicine at all. He just thought it was a good idea to open. So it's ran by someone who's not even a provider or anything.
Yeah.
So it's cookie cutter protocols and stuff. We're getting patients from them. They're just like, these
Yeah.
people they don't know what they're doing.
There's one next to us too.
Yeah, yeah, they don't provide good care, from what I've heard. Um, but what they do well is marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that clinic opened up like, I don't know, 4 to 6 months ago or something, and they have almost as many Google reviews as we do. And so it was like, okay, wait a second here. They're prioritizing this. Some of them are probably fake, probably.
Yeah.
So we just ramped up our Google review process, and we're getting 2 or 3 a day now. Okay.
Okay.
We incentivize them when we see them or when we're on the phone with them. We tell them, listen, you get a free bottle of Viagra or Tadalafil in exchange for a 5-star Google review. You are not getting it until we see that review. Post it right now. So like,
Okay.
tell them to like give them a QR code. Here, scan it with your phone. Get on there. Do it. Like, you know what I mean? Make it as
Okay.
easy as possible for them to leave that review. You're in a saturated market, and so people are shopping around. People are looking for these services in Tampa. I mean, in Florida, they're actively looking for it. And so you got to extract those warm leads as best as you possibly can. Okay.
Okay.
You're a fool not to. And that's anyone listening to this, like you have to have a process where you can extract the warm leads and turn them into a customer. So, prioritize that. That should be a priority.
Okay.
So I think from a lead acquisition standpoint, you don't have a whole lot of money here to work with if you want to, try to keep personal expenses out of it and your
Right.
personal finances. So like you don't probably have a whole lot to work with here. So I would try over the next 3 or 4 months to take advantage of what you can do for free or very, very low cost,
Okay.
and Google reviews, increasing that referral bonus, posting on your own social media, some bootstrap kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I would focus more on that stuff for the next 3 or 4 months and
Okay.
just see where you're at. Okay.
Okay.
You're in a decent spot. I mean, your husband's still working, right? So like you're probably not super stressed about money from a personal financial standpoint.
No.
No, okay. So you're in a good spot, right? Um, So you can be a little bit more patient here and try to improve the margin of your practice and just give it a little time and see if the lead acquisition just works, just naturally, organically happens.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I got a quote for a billboard too, because I hear you say that frequently, but it's $2,500 a month and you have to sign a 12-month code. So I wasn't sure if that is a good idea.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Every single time I've ever gotten a billboard or helped someone get a billboard, I always tell because it's an account sales representative. They make a commission.
Yeah.
I always tell them, I'm like, listen, I'll pay for the vinyl. I'll pay for whatever, but I will sign a 3-month contract. And I want to see if it actually works or not. But I am not signing a 12-month contract. Absolutely not.
Okay. That's what I figured, but I was like, let me just ask and see, because I just got that quote.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's negotiable. Okay, that account representative has the power to make that whatever he wants it to, unless they have some kind of policy or something. But they're a salesman, so they're going to try to sell you on that billboard.
Yeah, and I looked up, obviously with ChatGPT, and he said that he or she, whatever the hell it is, if you haven't optimized like Google Ads and like all these other advertising, it's not a good return on investment.
No, probably not, especially in a big area like you're in. I think billboards in general can do well if you are in a smaller area where the majority of the people in town or in that city drive on this one road.
Mm-hmm.
Then lots of eyes see that. Tampa, Clearwater, where's this billboard going to be? I mean, there's probably 1 million roads in that county, right? So like, it's a real gamble. But if you're in a town of 50,000 people or 100,000 people and there's basically one main road that literally everyone drives on, then yeah, it can be worth it. But in your case, it's probably not. So from a marketing standpoint, I would say the Google keyword search ads would probably be somewhat beneficial for you if you can play around with it and see if you can get some ads approved. Throw $1,000 a month at it and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to get legit script certification, but my God, they want you to take your pharmacies. They want you to agree you're not prescribed like NP and thyroid. Like, this does not seem well.
You can tell them whatever you want. How the hell are they going to know?
I did, and then they came back and they were like, okay, before we give you the approval, show us the proof that you emailed and like got in touch with these pharmacies that you're not going to prescribe with them anymore.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all Elite Nurse Practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Guess you could make a fake email.
I was like, man, this is too much work.
Yeah, it's kind
But it would be easier, I think, to do Google keyword or search ads with the certification, because then you could use medication dates.
Well, yeah, of course it will, but you can try it with just real generalized terms and see if it'll work. You could say something like wellness clinic now open offering HRT. I mean, you're not saying a name of anything, yeah, so you can experiment with it. It's one of those things where ad decline. Oh, ad accepted. Okay, well, cool. Let's go with that one, right? Very rarely are some actual human eyes looking at that. It's just an algorithm. So,
right.
So just play around with it and see. But I think that you have established patience and you I think that, if you have 150 patients or whatever at this point, those 150 patients, the amount of people that they know, it's thousands of
True.
people, right? So I think that if you really go hard on the reviews and the referral bonus, I think that within the next year you should be able to double or triple that number easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so if you remove the marketing costs, now your margin is 60%. So that tells me that you're charging the right amount of money and your true expenses are in line. Okay. So you're doing that right. So there's nothing to talk about there.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, okay. So we knocked out lead acquisition and we knocked out getting some marketing stuff. Anything else in terms of those two things go?
No, I don't think so. I think sometimes it's just helpful to hear from someone else who's been in this space for a long time to just say, like, fucking chill out and it's going to be okay. Because I'm like, oh, we should have like 500 patients by now and we should close it down. And my husband's like, just fucking chill. Like, it's been a year. It's okay.
Yeah. I
Go
mean, right. It's legitimately been about a year, I mean, the other year you said doesn't really count because you were kind of just fucking off or whatever, but like,
did nothing.
yeah. Okay. So like you've only been open for a year. Okay. 150 patients with, after 1 year, um, it, it's not amazing, but it's
Yeah.
not bad. Okay.
Okay.
I'd say it's probably even a little above average. All right.
Okay.
So I consulted with an NP, literally yesterday, and she has a practice that essentially is doing almost the exact same thing you are. Okay. Her issue is that 60-70% of her revenue is from weight loss, which is saturated, and that's going to be an issue for her moving forward as more weight loss clinics open up and stuff. You are 90% HRT, so you are in a position where you don't have to worry too much about that. You are building something that's actually really scalable and something that is relatively safe. Okay. So that's what I want you to really focus on. But to get back to the consultation I had with her yesterday, it was a private consultation. It wasn't a podcast. So she's offering pretty much the same services you are. She has been open for 2 years. Okay. And her first year, the numbers were almost exactly the same as yours. Okay. Plus or minus 20 grand or whatever it was. And this year she did 300,000. Okay. And next year she'll probably do 400, 450 if she continues her growth trajectory. So you are almost a mirror image of what she's done. Okay. But she's a year ahead of you. So and she hasn't spent very little money on marketing as well. She has a pretty decent social media following. So she does capitalize on that. All right. But she hasn't really spent a whole lot on marketing either. And so she has focused on the Google review. She has like 180 Google reviews or something.
Wow.
She has a referral bonus. Like, so she capitalizes on that stuff. She's gone to some gyms. She's made some agreements with some lead sources. Okay. So a gym will refer patients to her. A couple primary care doctors and stuff in the area will refer patients to her. I believe she has a relationship with a weight loss surgeon, and the weight loss surgeon will then refer patients to her after someone has had weight loss, or if someone's not quite a candidate for weight loss, that he'll refer patients to her. So she has done some of that bootstrap stuff as well. And it's, it works. It's nothing crazy, but it does bring some patients in the door. Right. So I think if you focus on those things, I think I think you're going to be fine, especially if you can get rid of these marketers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
And her margin's about 45-50%. So your margin's even better than hers. All right. Yeah. So, and she's in a fairly saturated area too. So it is possible. Okay. So any other questions, marketing, lead acquisition, or anything?
And I think, I haven't really done too much with social media just because it tends to be overwhelming. But having this company help us, it's been more helpful. So now once we get to be on our own, eliminate that expense, I think bringing more people through social media will be helpful.
Well, think about this. You pay these people this money, you've learned what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just do it, right?
Exactly.
Right. So,
Yeah.
editing videos and stuff, it ain't that hard, especially with AI now,
Yeah.
I mean, we're recording this on Riverside. So, like, if you just get a Riverside account and just record this stuff on here, once you record it, you click edit and you click on a few of the AI buttons on the side. That knocks out about 80% of the editing for you. And then you just go through it and just do a few things yourself. It is easy. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You can do that stuff yourself. No point in paying anyone, especially for like short social media reels.
Yeah.
30 to 60-second videos and stuff. I mean,
So easy.
It's super easy, right? Okay, so let's talk about scaling this business. We've already talked about one of the biggest drivers here is lead acquisition. So we've already discussed that. We've already discussed improving your margin, basically. You could probably squeeze a little bit more out of that if you wanted to increase your prices just a little bit, but I wouldn't.
I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah. You can not necessarily improve your margin, but you can improve your revenue by offering more services or increasing the lifetime value of the customer. So what I want you to do is think about some cheap add-ons that will be an easy sell to the patient, okay? You have peptides, but are you really pushing them? Vitamin injections and NAD and things like that. Can you push those, right? Other little things too, like, every men's health patient, are they getting a bottle of tadalafil or Viagra or something from you? The women's health patients, are you trying to get them on, I don't know, oxytocin nasal sprays? I mean, just whatever, right? Like, try to increase that value of each patient. So if each patient's generating, just simple math here, if each patient's generating $100 a month in profit, how do you get that to 120?
Okay.
Is it by increasing your overall price, which you don't want to do? Well, it can be done by giving them something small, right? Most people are vitamin D deficient. You can get vitamin D, IM, sub-Q injections, sell them on that. For extra $40 a month, you can get vitamin D injections to get your vitamin D levels up. And it costs you nothing, right?
Yeah.
Just little things like that. Okay.
Okay.
So just be like, look at your patient's lab work, look at what they're complaining of, look at what you're talking about during the visits, and figure out where there's some holes there that, you can fill in, because there's always a need for something else in most patients. And instead of having them go somewhere else to get that need filled, you should be filling it. All right. So just be thinking about that. That's another growth lever you can do to increase your overall revenue. Might not necessarily improve your margin, but it'll improve your revenue. Okay. So you can do that as well. I'm assuming from a growth aspect at this point in your practice that another provider is just not necessary.
So this is kind of like where we are in the crossroads. This local acupuncturist, she owns a clinic that's probably 45 minutes north of mine. She keeps asking me to like do a mini expansion into a room into her place. So I don't know if that's a good idea at this point, or if I do that and bring on the provider there, or I don't really know what to do with that. I feel like I'm spreading myself more thin and I can't pour into this current location. So that's kind of where we're at, and I don't really know how to handle that.
So that's an opportunity for more leads and more revenue. Okay. So I wouldn't take it lightly. I wouldn't just disregard it. I mean, she is essentially offering you something here. I mean, she obviously feels like there's a need for it. Her patients are probably asking her about this stuff. I mean, during an acupuncture, session, she's sitting there talking to this person for 30 to 60 minutes, 90 minutes sometimes. Right. So it's a very intimate conversation. It's just like your hairdresser or your barber, right? When I get my haircut, I'm there for 90 minutes. Me and him talk about whatever, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of a similar thing with her too. So, so if you, this is how I would probably do this. I would say, hey, let me take you up on that offer. Do you have current patients for me? Do you have people who are interested in this? Okay. Let her do the marketing and stuff for you. Let her give you the leads. All right.
Okay.
Has she mentioned anything about this in terms of like her patients?
She just says that her patient base is mostly hormonal women and that she feels like I would be a good fit. So initially she wanted me to rent a full-time room, which was going to be $800 to $900 a month, which is not crazy. But I personally can't be there full-time. I am in a current clinic 3 days a week, so I would only be available 2 days a week there. So she said she'd be willing to rent me a part-time room for $500.
So how about this? This is how I would approach this. Okay. Make it worth her while and make it some kind of incentive for her to actually give you patience. Okay.
Okay.
I would tell her, be like, hey, give me the room for free. All right. And I will give you $50 for every lead that you give me. Or I will give you 25% or 20% of the profit, net profit. I'll give you 20% of the net profit of this, and you keep referring people to me, and I'll pay you every month. I will show you the numbers. I'll give you 20%. Think of it as a marketing expense, basically. That's what it is. Okay. It's a marketing expense. Approach her and see if she's down for that, because if she truly can refer a lot of people to you, then it is worth her while to do so if she's actually getting a cut.
Yeah.
All right. That's the way I would approach that. Now, in terms of the logistics behind it, in terms of like you going up there and seeing patients and structuring this, you need 1 day a week. You don't need to be there. Like 1 day a week is probably sufficient. You know what I mean? So you can say, I will be there on Thursdays. I will show up on Thursdays. Schedule patients on Thursday for me. And I will be there and I'll see patients all day long. All follow-ups that are done telemed from your office, right?
Okay.
You don't really need to see them again, right?
No.
Just do it for the new patients, okay?
Okay.
And tell her that, okay, well, I'll tell you what. If the patient just cannot be there on Thursdays, I can see them telemed any of these other days, and I'll still give you the 20%.
Okay.
Okay? Just think about it as the lead source, as a marketing expense. All right.
Okay.
Now, with that said, you can do something very similar with other service providers like an acupuncturist. Okay. Try this out and see how it goes. If it works pretty well, why don't you do some bootstrap stuff? And why don't you start going to some other acupuncture offices and be like, hey, listen, I want to be your preferred HRT provider for your perimenopausal, menopausal women, for men who just seem to be, for men who have these symptoms that you're seeing. I will be your HRT, or, I will be your main HRT provider, and I'll give you 20%.
Okay.
You can do the same thing with barbers and hairdressers. Okay. If a barber or a hairdresser tells their client that, hey, this lady over here is amazing, honey. I got started on hormone replacement therapy. She's fantastic. You need to go see her. It has helped me so much. And in exchange, you give them free treatment. It's literally it.
Yeah.
They will send you so many patients.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about reaching out to some of the local personal trainers as well, who I just see at the gym every morning, and seeing if maybe they could be a potential lead source, but I don't know. Am I just treating for free?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So like personal trainers, it's the same thing, right? They're with their client for an hour and they're talking about everything. Right.
Yeah.
And so if you give them free treatment, then absolutely, yeah, it turns into another lead source. Right.
Yeah.
But I would just tell them, be like, listen, I'm happy to give you free treatment. Happy to. But I need at least 4 patients a month from you. That's what that's what I really need. So when they call or whatever, tell them you referred them so we can keep track of this. All right.
Okay.
So for those people, just give them just give them free treatment. Okay.
Okay.
For the acupuncturists or the chiropractors or, those people, you give them a small percentage. All right.
Okay.
You do that. You will not spend any money on marketing whatsoever. Right? And you will probably get so many patients. All right. Some of them will just be dead bugs, basically. Some of them will just, okay, this person refers one patient a month to me. Like, big whoop-de-doo. But every once in a while, you will get someone who will send you 20, 30, like so many patients. All right. So what you do with the barbers or the hairdressers is, why don't you make yourself an appointment at a variety of hairdressers every single week and get in there. Right. Here, honey, I just want you to do this. You know what I mean? Just do like every week, just have them trim off a millimeter. Just, and over a couple months, you should only maybe lose an inch of hair. So whatever, right? Worth it. Yeah. And you get in there and just go every single one of them and just talk to them, right? So, you got to just kind of get a little bit of a thick skin here in terms of going out there and talking to these people. You're going to get a lot of no's, but you will get some yeses. Yeah.
Okay.
So from a growth aspect, I think that's probably your best way. I don't think you need to worry about another provider at this point. You don't have enough patients to justify it. I wouldn't worry about another provider until you're booking out 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. Like, you're busy. Like, if you're booking out 2, 3, 4 weeks, you're pretty busy. At that point, it's time to hire someone else to do it. From just a PRN standpoint, most of these people, they want to be seen within 2 weeks. And if it's further out than that, they go somewhere else. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind from a growth aspect. Yeah. So, any other questions?
No, I don't think so. I think it solidifies a lot of the things I was just thinking and wondering. It's helpful just to hear it from someone who's already done it.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing something right here. Okay. So don't be too hard on yourself. Like, you're doing something right here. You have a 60% margin. I mean, you're, minus the marketing fiasco, or get rid of that.
Yeah.
But after that, you have a 60% margin. You're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other stuff, all the stuff that I just told you about, it's either free.
Yeah.
Or it costs you a very small amount from the money that you make. So you're not spending money, right?
Yeah.
It's just a percentage of what you're getting anyways. Or the referral source, $50, whatever, who cares? I mean, once that patient comes in, they're going to be a patient with you for a while. You're going to make that back in no time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So is it not illegal to like incentivize other for like people like that financially, or
not
not
for cash practices?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the insurance thing.
It's an insurance thing. You're not hurting anyone with this. Okay. When you do stuff like this with Medicare or Medicaid or private insurance, now you're either taking money from them, right? And now, they get pissed when you take money from them with this incentive. You got to worry about this. This is like an orthopedic surgeon who owns an outpatient radiology practice, and he only refers his patients to that place for MRIs. Okay. That bills Medicare and insurance. Yes, that is illegal. Okay. Yeah. But you're not doing that. Like, this is why I say, do not take money from the government.
Yeah.
Ever.
I agree.
Don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you start taking money from them, they put a target on your back if you with them at all.
Yeah.
So I
agree.
Just don't. I don't take $1 from the government. Ever, never will. Like, when COVID hit and they were giving out all those, all those bonuses to business owners and stuff like that. Like, I know, like, well, looking back at it now, you could have and got away with it because they basically just forgave it all, right?
Yeah.
If I would have known that, I would have, but I did not know that, and I was like, I'm not touching that. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Yeah.
Right.
Any other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So I like to end these episodes with you asking me a question. You have a question for me, a personal question or a curiosity or anything like that?
I guess my question would be, knowing what you know now in terms of like medical, what you own, what would you have gone nursing, or would you have done something totally different?
Somebody asked
but
this.
you know what you know now.
Yeah. Someone asked me this a while back. That's pretty much the same answer, but you know, if obviously, you know, being a nurse practitioner has been good to me. I mean, it's what allowed me to essentially retire early, basically, if I want to.
Right.
You know, I mean, I could just step away if I want. So it's been good to me. I mean, no question about it. So, you know, knowing what I know now, so that there's two answers. You know, if I would have known 10 years ago that being a nurse practitioner would have allowed me to become financially independent by owning businesses, I would have changed a thing, right?
Yeah.
But if it wouldn't have, then yeah, I absolutely, like, if I would have gotten, I'd have been a lawyer or a financial advisor or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, no question
Interesting.
about it. Yeah. I would have been a good lawyer, but
Yeah.
you know, and the law interests me. And so if I could go back, yeah, if I could go back, I probably would have become a lawyer or a financial advisor. That's what, yeah, that's probably what would I, you know, what would I have done? Now I have two boys, all right?
Yeah.
They will not be getting into medicine.
Nah, my kids either.
No, they are not getting into
No.
medicine unless
Yeah.
they just really want to, but
Right.
I'm not pushing that. Like,
We are not either. We're like, do anything else.
do,
Literally.
right,
Trash guy.
yeah.
Don't do medicine.
Yeah, yeah. The problem though with having kids and, you know, with AI and stuff now, it's like, God, I don't know what you're gonna do. Like,
I know.
you know, a lot of lawyers are screwed. Accountants are totally screwed. Hell, financial advisors are screwed. What do you need a financial advisor for anymore? You know what I mean? You get more information from Chat GPT.
I know. He planned out my whole life last night.
Yeah.
He was like, hell yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm here for it. I was like, great.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Same thing with lawyers. Same thing with lawyers too. Like, I have used ChatGPT and Gemini and stuff for legal stuff. I couldn't tell you how many times. I spoke to a lawyer in years. Why, like,
Right.
you can't tell me anything that ChatGPT can't. You know what I mean?
know. Fully agree.
Yeah. So I know I'm kind of scared for my boys. I don't know what the future's gonna look like in 20 years.
I know. Me too.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be they're gonna have to start their own business or do something. Yeah.
Yeah, they better start it now.
Yeah. Be a professional like, what's crazy is now you're gonna tell your kids to become a professional musician or an artist.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Would have never thought that, but
Right.
it's true.
5 years ago, you would never have said that, but now, I don't know. Actually, might not be a bad gig.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, now
Yeah.
you can go on TikTok, so just do that.
Right. Yeah. So cool. Well, listen, I appreciate the conversation. This was pretty solid. Keep me up to date. If you ever want to do a follow up, just let me know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome. Take care. Bye.
You too.
I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Allison. Pretty solid episode. She's doing okay. I mean, she's a little hard on herself. She thinks she might be, she should be doing better, but $150,000 in revenue in year one is actually, I would say it's probably slightly above average. So, she's doing okay. I think that, to rate this from, all the MPs and stuff who I've talked about, who I've talked with over the years, I'll give you a brief summary on what's good and what's not after 1 year, 2 years. At 1 year, if you are doing less than $100,000 in revenue, something's wrong. Okay. That is below average, and you're not really generating probably a whole lot of profit on, doing that in your first year. If in year one you're doing $150,000, $200,000, you are above average. You're doing okay. If you're doing $300,000 plus in your first year, you're killing it. All right. Year two, you should have either 1.5 or 2x your income in year two. All right. So in year two, if you're hitting the same numbers you are in year one, you are not doing well. You are not obtaining new patients. You're charging not enough. Something is wrong. Okay. So the general rule of thumb with a progression of any kind of business is 1.5 to 2x growth every single year is about what you should be seeing. Okay. So if you do $100,000 in year one, you should be doing 200 or 250 in year two, and so forth and so forth. All right. So another thing too is look at referral sources, maximize it. It is a good it is a good return on your investment of time and money. So go out there and go to where your patients are and see if you can get some people who can refer patients to you. It is worth the effort. Go into ChatGPT, tell it what your practice is, what it is that you do, what you charge, what your general demographic is, and then ask it, in my area, where can I go to get leads at? Where are these patients? And it'll give you a list of businesses and all kinds of stuff. Like, maximize it. Use this stuff, guys. So, okay. Hope everyone has a good holiday. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.